Currently there are dozens of maps in the game. Some of them have been around for ages, others have been recently introduced, and not all of them are ideal. There are some inaccuracies and defects that need to be fixed. That's what we are going to do. Location of drop zones on some maps results in boxes landing in places that can't be accessed by players. We'll start with fixing that. We'll also slightly optimize maps for speeding up the loading and overall performance. It will be done by removing areas and objects that players can't see or access. The maximum number of players on some maps will also change. It will be increased or decreased depending on the map. Our aim is to make gameplay more interesting and increase the performance. Of course, there won't be 40 tanks on Sandbox, but capacity of maps like Berlin will most likely be increased. We'll improve the quality of gameplay on some maps by adding or removing various buildings, shelters and barriers. Thanks to that, it will all become more dynamic and interesting. We'll also pay attention to the aesthetic part. Now on some maps you can notice unexpected transitions and joins between completely different surfaces, incorrectly placed buildings and props and so on. We'll make these things logical and pleasing. CTF and CP will be added to the majority of maps that don't support these game modes at the moment. Moreover, some maps will get another mode, reversed CTF. The team's flag will be placed on enemy's base. Respawn points of tanks will be reworked. The changes will affect all game modes, especially control points. Now the game has several maps with serial numbers: Silence 1 and 2, Brest 1 and 2, Highland 1 and 2. These pairs are basically the same in terms of gameplay. That's why they'll be reworked, and only one map from each pair will remain in the game. The least popular maps, changes in which won't make them more popular, will be removed. Reworking maps is a difficult and time-consuming task. Therefore, changes will be implemented step by step. Stay tuned!